Welcome. Today we're going to dive deeper into how to access and maintain our greatest timelines, our greatest reality and destinies, right? Which is everything is really connected with our energetic signature. And this is what I want to start with. How we feel inside is what we perceive outside, what we attract outside, right? And we all know this. This is the law of attraction. This is fundamental. However, how to create from the inside out the timeline that best serves where you want to be now, that really feels exciting for you, that you want to step into. So, from my understanding of the quantum field, of the infinite possibilities out there, there's our universe, right? Let's see it like a sphere, like Mother Earth, like a round sphere, right? So let's say that this is the whole universe. Now, near to our universe, there's another universe, and another universe, and another universe, and another universe, and another universe. Billions and billions of universes like this. That is the multiverse. That is the quantum field of all available timelines and realities, of all the different earths that are available to tap into, of all the different versions of you that are available to you to tap into, right? Let's see it that way. So there's basically infinite possibilities to connect with. And we can change every possibility in every single moment where we are aware and where we intend towards that which we want to experience. So let's say that there is a version of you in the quantum field that doesn't experience lack, doesn't experience so much suffering, doesn't experience not having money to pay rent, doesn't experience a breakup with your partner or heavy relationships and stuff like that. There's a version that actually has it all, that achieved it all that they want to achieve, that created their dream life, that created, and live based on their true purpose inside. That version of you exists. Now, how to access that version, right? That is the biggest question. How to access that version. In my explorations of creating myself many times, I've been through so many layers of rebirth and identity shifts through my journey. So much that, to be honest, I'm not attaching to any part of me. I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a writer, I'm a DJ, I'm a content creator, I'm a lover, I'm gonna be a father at some point soon. A husband, all of these are just versions, roles that I'm playing, and because I'm not attached to them is why I actually can experience them. Many people attach to one singular version, to one version of themselves, which is, let's say, I want to be a doctor, right? And you just leave that reality to an extreme, and you don't experience different versions that are available to you. Maybe you can be a doctor that works for himself rather than working in a hospital. There's so many versions in just that singular identity as well. So the point is for you to tune in and find out what is really the version of you that you want to experience, right? How is that version of you walking? How is that version of you feeling inside? What is that version of you relationship with their partner, with a soulmate, if this is what you want, with your friends, with your clients, with the people you work with? What is that version of your relationship with money? What is the inner peace that version of you has? All these things, I can go on and on. So all of these things have to be, in order to attract that version of you, to create it, to get it out there from the multiverse into your body, you need to really feel it in your body, but not just feel it, but really anchor it in on a nervous system level, deep into your nervous system. You have to be comfortable with having success, in your relationship, with having really nurturing relationships that don't drain you, in being peaceful, in living the best life. You have to really make peace with that reality, because our nervous systems actually sabotage us the most. We all want success, we all want our best relationship and so on, but because of what we have experienced for so many years, that survival mode kind of relationship with these things, then the nervous system doesn't actually know how to relax, and because of that, it's harder to call in that reality, right? It's harder to connect with what you want to create, with how you want to create yourself. So we have to be really compassionate with ourselves on this path, and not be hard on ourselves, and really lean in deeper and deeper and deeper into our fears, into our pain, so that we can alchemize it and truly experience that version of ourselves. This is the work, basically. The work is not to bypass. The work is not to just be in meditation all day, although that helps, of course, to elevate our consciousness and to simply feel more present. But the way I shift, the way I personally shift into the best version of myself, is by really confronting my greatest pain, my greatest triggers, my resistance, so that I can break through it and dissolve it, and then allow my greatest timeline to happen automatically. I don't have to chase it. This is how I do it, right? So then once you do that, once you feel that you achieved a place in yourself where you are comfortable with your pain, when you are comfortable with feeling, even to feel happy even when you're broken, to feel whole even when you know you still have healing to do, even when you know that you're not perfect, that you have so much growth to do in many areas of your life maybe, but can you be and feel whole no matter what? When you do, each time you do, you are connected with your greatest timeline, with your greatest destiny. And the way I access and maintain that version of me, it's not like I train myself to do it. It happens for me naturally, right? And maybe this is a reminder, maybe this will make sense for the first time. I don't know. But I'm going to share with you how I do this, how I maintain my greatest timeline, right? To access it, I told you how. Just feel from the quantum field, from the infinite possibilities, feel that version of you that you want to be in all areas of life, in relationships, in job, in purpose, in finances, how much money you want, all of it. Feel it, feel how it makes you feel to achieve that, and connect with it. You access it. Now maintaining it is another story. To maintain it, personally, what I learned is that I have to live fully authentically and always express my truth, express myself. Okay, that's how I live my life. I do not care who agrees with me. I do not care if I'm judged. I do not care who gets triggered. Because I did not came here to live to please people, right? I came here to express, and this is what we all came here to do, to express, to create. We create through our expression. You know, the first reason why we are depressed is because we do not express ourselves. That's also the cure for depression. is expression. Express yourself, express your emotions, express your state of being, express what is uncomfortable. Say no to things that you don't want. Say yes to things that feel exciting. Express, create. That's how you live your greatest timeline. You can't live it in comfort zone. You can't live it by avoiding who you truly are from the inside out. So your greatest timeline is accessed first by the most authentic version of you that expresses at all times. It is beyond being nice. It is beyond being polite. It is beyond faking it until you make it. It's just pure authenticity. No people pleasing. We are not here to please. We're not here to prove ourselves. Just be you. Be you. And practice it the best with the closest ones. Those are the most confrontational and also where we do the most work. With the closest people in your life, express your authenticity. Say no to your partner when it feels like no. Right? Say no if you don't feel like doing something. Say, express your truth, express your pain, express what's uncomfortable. Communication is key, right? And then it goes in different layers. Express your creations, express your soul with writing, with singing, with music, with mentoring, teaching, whatever that is. It starts from the most fundamental expression, where in the most casual conversations in your life, all the way to sharing your gifts with the world and your purpose, like I do in this moment. Right? So take me as an example in this. I'm expressing as honestly and naturally as I can. There's no script. There's no proving anything. I just love doing this. I love to share and give permission to others to do the same. This is my passion. I think sharing is the biggest thing, the biggest gift we give to this world, to share our reality, to share our wisdom, to share our creations, to share what is alive for us. This is how we shape perspectives in one another. This is how we understand each other. This is how we understand our needs and where we are going towards, in what direction. Right? So live authentically and express yourself is the first way to reach your greatest timeline. The second one is to say no to the loops and the patterns that drain you. So really look into your life and look at those things that you keep repeating, that they feel like a black hole, keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. Look at the habits that you have. What is it that you can break ties with right now that doesn't serve you? What is it? Maybe it's drinking, maybe it's smoking, maybe it's eating too much chocolate or cake, or like it starts from the little, most insignificant things that you think of. Because each time we do that, we are literally, so many of us consume these things out of emotional dependency, out of emotional uncomfortability. We're trying to escape something by doing something that is like a dopamine boost. And it's okay to have dopamine boosts, but make sure they are healthy for you. Instead of like eating a cheap piece of cake, eat like something like fruit, like something that is really, really healthy and actually benefits you. And it creates energy, not drains energy. So you have to look into your life and look at all the things that you're doing that drain you from energy and cut from them. Because the greatest version of you doesn't have time to do those things. Why would you do those things? If you are connected with the highest frequency of the creator, of the universe, of your soul, of your source, why would you need these poison and like little toxic things? Why would you need that? You wouldn't do that to yourself. And then it goes to closing loops and dynamics that you have in relationships with other people that drain you, right? So let's say you have a dream, you want to write a book, or you want to become a mentor for other people, a teacher, and you tell this to the wrong person who doesn't understand you, a person who doesn't dream big, and you're trying to seek validation from that person, and they say, no, you're crazy, you cannot do this. No, you are crazy for not believing in yourself. You are crazy for thinking that is not possible, because it is. And so you have to let go of those people who really do not support you, who are only there to confirm our victim patterns, right? We like so much to be victims. We like so much to express our problems, and it's good to express them when there's a relief and a release and there's an understanding and you reach to a conclusion and then you change the trajectory. That's perfect. But sometimes we just want to do that to be seen and validated, right? These are not empowering relationships. Just because people listen to your problems doesn't mean they are good people for you. And some people, I have people in my life that I'm speaking my problems with, and it's the only thing I can speak with. If I tell them about my successes and what I'm celebrating, they almost like, oh, okay, cool. They'll be like, yeah, I'm happy for you. And they change the subject. If I tell them about drama that happens in my life, they are all ears. They are addicted to that. So those are not necessarily people that are supportive. While at the same time, it's good to have someone to share about, your pains. But be mindful, is that person leading you towards truth, towards your heart when you share that? Or is it leading towards a repetitive pattern where you both sank your energy, drain your energy, and now you approve yourself of how much of a victim you are? So look at these loops and dynamics that you have in relationships, because just as much as habits and in toxic habits we have, they can drain us even more sometimes, because sometimes we don't have that much influence over our relationships unless we really are clear with our boundaries. Unless we say a no that is strong and that person understands, because it involves two aware and conscious people. Whereas when you have a habit that you want to ditch or get rid of, let go of, is much easier because that habit doesn't jump on you. If you tell someone that you've been in a relationship with, as a friend, could be your partner also, but if you tell them, hey, I don't like the way you speak to me. I don't like the way I don't appreciate how you see me, how you trigger me or point at me these things, or how you judge me and stuff like that. That person most probably is going to react. So it's harder in relationships, but that is why it's so important to do it. And say no to the loops and the patterns that really drains us, because our greatest version of ourselves doesn't have those. Okay, another thing that I want to share is we have to have energy like mastery. We have to master our own energy. We have to understand what to do when we are low and when we are high. And we also have to not react to everything that happens in our lives. So let me give an example. Each time I want to create something, I have a big vision or a big dream, and I go into it to create it, to bring it into this reality. I go in each layer of it to bring it into this reality. The next day or the second day after that, I experience doubts, right? I experience resistance. I experience some contradiction. Some version of me that doesn't believe into what I just did those 2 days. which is to create that vision, which is to bring it into reality, right? So in that moment, I'm in a low state. I'm in a lower point in my awareness and in my consciousness. I'm not as connected to the creator as I am when I'm in it and I believe in it and I am fully confident that this is going to happen and trusting and so on. So in that moment, what I train myself to do over time, because I created so much in so many things and I've been in so many projects, that I learned how to master this. When I'm in a low moment like that, I don't react. I simply disengage. I know that in that moment what I need is self-care. I need self-love. I need to hold space for that version of me who's doubting, who doesn't believe in its own creations. You know, that version of me needs deep love in that moment. You know, that was a wounded version of my inner child when I was little. It doesn't even matter what it is anymore. I just know that when I'm in a low like that, what I need is to rest, to love myself, to nurture myself, and to focus on myself. And what I allow in my reality is only energy that is beneficial for myself, for my well-being. So I'm not going to react. I'm not going to try to figure out and fix the situation from that place. And trying to prove myself that what I created 2 days before is valid. I know it's valid, I trust. It's just that I don't see it in that moment because obviously I'm in a lower self, I'm in a lower version of me. So I learned to let go and trust that I'm going to be back in that high, in that connection with the Creator again, where I'm going to look at my ideas and my dreams and I'm going to say, oh, of course we're going to do this. Of course this is the right thing to do. I've been so many times repeating this. This is part of every creation process. And this is part of why many people let go of what they are excited about, what they are passionate about, unfortunately. Unfortunately. This is why so many people give up. This is why only 10%, if just 10% of people in this world live their dream life. And 90% are struggling and in survival mode and just in comfort zone and not satisfied with their lives. So we have to learn how to master energy, our own energy, not externally. We don't have to, we don't have to focus on what is external, just ourselves. And another thing, and the last thing that I want to share when it comes to how to access and maintain our greatest timeline is to show up for your calling and purpose, no matter what. To show up unapologetically, to be devoted and committed. You have to develop a relationship with your purpose, with your creations. A beneficial, a healthy relationship. In the same way you want your relationship with your partner to be great, to your kids, to your family, to your friends. In the same way you have to do, when it comes to your purpose, if not even more. Because your purpose, your calling is what feeds you. It is when you show up in your purpose, in your calling, when you honor your creations and you show up unapologetically and you're at service, the universe loves that. The Creator, which is inside of you and outside of you as well, loves that. And it rewards you for it. It rewards you for showing up, for creating things that are for the highest good, for your life, for your family, and for the community, for the world. So you have to be devoted to show up for your calling and purpose. Otherwise, your greatest timeline doesn't really exist. There is no greatest timeline that is not a greatest timeline where you are in survival mode and you're struggling having a job that you don't like. That is not the greatest timeline. It can be in that moment, but out of all possibilities, your greatest timeline is when you're really living according to what your soul calling is on this earth. Your deepest mission and purpose. That is the most satisfying and the most exciting when you truly are activated in that and live from it. And that's, for example, that's what I'm doing for the last 12 years. I don't live my life in any way by pleasing anyone or anything, or being like participating in someone else's dream when it has nothing to do with my dream and my desires and my calling. You know what I mean? Basically, it's technically selling my soul, selling my time and energy for money, in a nutshell, to put it out there as it is. So I don't do that for 10, 12 years now. And I lived, since then, it was not easy, but I lived the greatest experience I could ever have. And I attracted prosperity, abundance in the most miraculous ways. And I also build it. So now it's established more and more as I grow. So much that I'm financially completely free. Just being who I am and doing what I love. Right? So I believe this is the greatest timeline for all people. When you live and you get paid to exist for being you and for doing what you love doing. And it's a deep learning for everyone. And that is the reason why I started a community, to help people be the masterful creators that they are. Because we are all masterful creators, but we've forgotten. And we don't know what to do to activate that. We don't know how to show up. Especially when we have other responsibilities and we are so deep into other careers or jobs and whatever. And so I'm here to help people to transition from that into their power, or people who are already in their power to level up to what they are called to do, and simply to master more the energy, understand the process, the beauty and the art of creating, of conscious creating. This is what we do in my tribe. It's like a very powerful, empowering, supportive tribe of people. And we have meetings every single week on Saturdays, and we dive deep and we see what challenges us, what we are celebrating. We are all students and masters there at the same time. So if you feel a calling for this and to join me, connect with me directly. Send me a message either here on Insight Timer, go to my profile and send me a message, or you can also connect with me on my Instagram if you have one. I just left it there in the comments. And depends where you see this video, check the info below as well for more info on that, on my community. Okay, much love everyone. Thank you all for being here. Have a beautiful rest of the week. Ciao for now.